My name is Katie Irons, and I'm going to be going over CCR question 4. How did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project? So first for hardware is what equipment I used. So we used my iPad in the first picture to reshoot. When our second day of filming, we realized that when we started to go through the editing process, we realized that some of the scenes were too long and they weren't exactly what we wanted. So our second day of filming, we used my iPad, so we used that. And we also use it as a prop here, and this is also what we use to edit. And the next picture here is our cameraman, Justin. So this is what we used for majority of the shots on the first day of filming. And we also used the stationary tripod, which is what the camera was on pretty much the whole time of filming. So what did I learn about technology in the making of the film? So a few things I learned was that data is fragile and massive. So a lot of the scenes and different takes in the movie as a whole, it took up a lot of storage, all the different takes. So I learned that that definitely takes up a lot, and that when you're adding all of the takes to your files, it takes up a lot of storage. I also learned that technology looks different on lighting looks different on camera. So the lighting that was darker in the room looked a lot darker than it was in real life. So on the camera, it looked a lot darker, so we had to fix the lighting. And also, it varied because when we filmed the first time with the camera, it looked a lot darker versus when we filmed on my iPad. I also noted that different audio and sounds sound different when being recorded with a camera that did not have a mic connected to it. So audio was a lot more quiet, so in films where on the parts where we were speaking, we had to speak louder so that way it would be able to reach the camera, and so it would be loud and not sound like we were whispering. And I also learned that battery and power management is a big thing with technology, as this is one of the limitations we had. We had to constantly change battery packs like 2 times, and we had to change cameras. I will say our cameraman was messing around with the camera as like just practicing. He was taking different shots and different angles and stuff, but by the time that we started filming, the camera was dead. So we had to change camera, and that ultimately led to us having to have multiple different files because we had to film on different cameras. So for software, for pre-production of the software, I use storyboards to animate what I wanted to, what me and my partner wanted to do. So basically this really helped us plan out what we wanted to do in the films. And for the picture, I just uploaded my blogs, my story post blog, and how I explain them, because I have already talked about this in a previous blog. But yeah, so we used that for pre-production, and then post-production, with editing and Final Cut, we used CapCut to edit the whole entire film. We used it to add the sounds, to add the transitions. So yeah, and then we also used Canva to add in the credits. So in this video is what I'm doing. So this is one of the final cuts we were doing, which was adding in the credits. This was the last thing we had to do, only to the introduction of the film. So for our online aspect, there were multiple things that were online, but the first thing was we had this file, and this was what our teacher sent us with all of the things. So this was a connected file with my teacher, me, and my partner Kiamani, we had access to all of the different takes and everything. Now we have all of the takes downloaded, so we don't use this anymore, but we did use this at the very beginning. And also for online, we used YouTube. We posted the video on YouTube. That also helped with our online aspect because it allowed us to get views from other people than just our actors or our friends. It helped us expand to a wider variety of people. And that is it. Thank you.